stories she writes are steampunk Victorian, historical fantasies, and paranormal romance. She is a board member of the Starting Romance Writers of the Philippines and advocates for appropriate relationship goals through proper romance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Maita Wu.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Indie PubCon 2022. My name is Maita Ru. That's my publishing name. My name is actually Maita Robilio Ru. So this is the Robilio Ancestral House. I am a teacher, a writer, and an artist. So before I commence with my speech, I would like to acknowledge our representative from the National Book Development Board and Alamid Books. Thank you very much for coming. Writers from 8 Letters and other independently published writers. My sincerest heartfelt congratulations to the organizers of this event. This is a wonderful event, the first in Davao and hopefully first of many more to come. Events like this, movements like this, shape not only the publishing industry, but the writing industry, and also how our society works. Indie publishing or independent publishing is no walk in the park. I know, I've done it myself. We, as indie writers, have little support and have little voices, but with many individual voices, we build a tapestry of life. The international community has given us a new label, own voice, because we have our own voices, because we do not conform to traditional writing styles. We are a country of 7,641 islands. High tide or low tide, it does not matter because our voice will never sink. Indie writers of Mindanao, let us tell our stories from our heads and hearts. Supporters and readers, please help us make this happen. Thank you for coming to support this event. We hope to see many more voices in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Maita Wu. Now for a quick overview of our program this afternoon, here's what's going to happen. We have 3 sessions. The first one will be about independent publishing initiatives in Southern Mindanao, to be followed by women writers, and the third part is writing the self. Pagkatapos niyan, I hope you will stay around because we have games and book raffles mamaya. And now I will give the floor to our first session moderator. He is a children's book writer, reading advocate, and an independent publisher. Ladies and gentlemen, the current head of Aklat Alamid, Mr. Buhagay Journal.
Ayan, magandang hapon po sa lahat mo, maayong hapon sa tanan mo. So, kari akong unang session karon. So, ang first session natin ay may dalawa tayong representatives o kinatawan ng dalawang indie publishing initiatives dito sa Southern Mindanao. No? Magandang hapon din lang sa mga nanonood sa ating sa live. No? Kasi ito yung hybrid event, so meron tayong live na nanonood at meron tayong participant. No? So, may dalawa tayong kinausap na magbahagi para sa protection. Isa mula sa Davao Region at isa naman ay galing sa Southern Region. No? So, ang dalawang magkatabing region dito sa Southern Mindanao. So, ang unang speaker actually ay nakilala nyo na sa ating moderator o MC sa program na ito, si Eric Gerard H. Negran. So, isa siyang educator, translator, and illustrator from General Santos City. No? So, isa siyang PhD candidate sa comparative literature sa University of the Philippines in Diliman. Tapos, he has taught at the high school and university levels for more than a decade, handling language, literature, and education subjects. He also works as a freelance editor for publishing companies and produces content for various organizations, including academic, corporate, and media outlets. His research interests include orality, history, popular culture, and digital humanities. And he studies and encourages literary and cultural productions of his hometown. So, bigyan po natin ng palakpakan ang ating first speaker, si Sir Eric Gerard H. Negran.
Salamat, MJ. I'm back. Okay, so good afternoon everyone and hi sa ating mga online viewers. Okay, so the topic that I will be talking about today, kaya para pretty yung title, so bit silent X. But that's really about SOX Sergeant. So where I'm from, SOX Sergeant is abbreviated into SOX. Yeah. So this is an overview of alternative and independent literary productions in SOX Sergeant or Indie Popcorn 2.0. Okay, next slide, please. So, I cannot claim to speak for the entire surgeon, but I'll be sharing what I've witnessed firsthand to be the literary scene in southern Mindanao. So, here's an overview when you are up in the air. Okay. Diversity, I think this will be the recurring theme of this talk. Okay. Miss Maita kanina earlier mentioned about having our own voices in the independent and alternative production scene. One of the things that characterize that is our diverse identities, our diverse backgrounds. So next, please. Succession is often hailed as kumbaga, regional. The term regional often appears to describe writings from the peripheries, not in the, kumbaga, the centers of literary and cultural production. Now, our national artists like Lumbeka and Buhagay have already problematized this label. Like Lumbeka says, if you use the term regional, it's not to be associated or at least interpreted as a mere subcategory of national lit. So when you are a regional writer, if you're claiming that as your identity, it's not because you did not make it in the national canon. That's what Mandela is trying to point out. Mandela describes regional writing as something that depicts the specific, you know, pronounce and syllables, specificities of life experience. Let's compare it with Maharasan's writing about regional lit. Okay? Medyo mahaba ng description ni Lucille Maharas. He refers to regional literature as the literary traditions written or oral of the various ethno-linguistic groups in the country, communities that, despite much internal migration, can still be certain of distinct geographical settings or identities. So, using what our national writers have written about regional literature, I will try to use that in this presentation. So, to define regional literature and alternative production in this talk, I refer to them as productions from alternative means or media, works in various forms situated in the socio-geographical territory of Soxerchen in Mindanao. Okay, I hope this resonates with you from whatever background you're from, or perhaps there are similar initiatives from your hometowns as well. Next slide, please. Okay, if you're interested in reading those essays, you can click this link. I'll be providing a copy of my material for your perusal. If you're an educator or a student, what we can take away from these essays are the following. We can be champions of inclusivity and diversity in the selection, presentations, and discussion of works from the regions. And we can also support initiatives that promote literary and cultural productions like collection and preservation, analysis and publication of marginalized voices or those that are not often given the spotlight or the center stage. And we can also take on active roles in promoting interest in the scholarly study of literature, ensuring lifelong meaningful learning for individuals involved in our society. Next, please. Okay, these are the different regions in Mindanao. May makulay na mapa. Next. In the map, there's the territory of SOX. So SOX Sargent is a region located in South Central Mindanao. Ang dami naming pangalan. The labels usually result from how the media labels us. Halimbawa, yung radio station or ang local TV broadcasting station. Yung buhay pa ang EBS, they refer to SOX as South Central Mindanao and so on. So maraming may complex na pagpapangalan sa mga regions, but basically, if you're going to take that long term, SOX Sargent, that's composed of South Cotabato, Cotabato Province, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, and General Santos. Next, please. When media and national productions refer to SOX, there's always that adjective of SOX is a melting pot of cultures. I can't really trace the origin of this description, but for a long time that label is copied and recycled, and I think the metaphor that they're trying to point out here is inspired by yung parang scientific na, what's the term nga? Zeitgeist? Wow, thesaurus. Yung scientific na atmosphere nung una that all metaphors describing a phenomenon is usually sciencey. Di ba nag-melt ka ng metals together? There are different metals in a pot and the product becomes one and unified na parang hindi mo na makita yung mga pinaghalong ng metal. So that metaphor tries to describe a lot of cultures, a lot of backgrounds are present in SOX Sargent, and somehow they are unified. Somehow their existence results in one product that's melded together. SOX is underrepresented in the Philippine literature, being home to a number of active writers and readers. However, it has a thriving literary scene, and there is a constant literary and cultural production. So though you might not really find a lot of stories, poems, or literary works in the national level that is saturated in SOX Sargent, buhay na buhay and active naman ang literary and cultural scenes sa SOX. Next, please. To update the metaphor of a melting pot, I found some authors and I listened to stories of some scholars attempting to change that. Maganda itong sinabi ni Dr. Robin de los Santos na nakawa pa ng J. Then mas describe na yung SOX as fruit salad. Okay? Bakit ba? Kasi when you eat fruit salad, yung final product, hindi naman nawawala yung mga ingredients nito. Like, you can still see kahang butter or whatever thing you added to the concoction. Okay? Then, it tastes good. Talagang metaphor kasi masarap. Dr. Antonio Cantado has a more indigenous metaphor. Sabi niya, bakit melting pot? Hindi ba para mas okay kung para siyang tapos straight or flat, hinati. Again, the idea is walang nawawala. Hindi na i-efface yung mga pinaghahalo mo. So when you read, kunwari, tuloy years pinana. When you read, the end product contains something unified in one complete thing output, but let's say the colors, the ingredients, the materials do not disappear. Okay? Next, please. So for today, given that introduction, I'll first attempt to describe the diversity of the region by giving an overview of what's happening there, ano yung mga organizations, actions, and next, ano yung alternative productions or indie na nangyayari sa SOX. So, I will talk about an online journal and a Zine Fest activity that labels itself as independent. And then kung may oras pa, I'll talk about some frameworks that we can use when we try to champion inclusivity, and alternative productions as well. Okay, next please. So ano bang nangyayari sa SOX? Ano yung mga ganap? What's up? Some 2016, young writers organized themselves and due to a group of leading advocates followed. So these young people had workshops, book exchanges. Hindi ko naman sila sabi na sila yung mga. It's just that they are instrumental in parang institutionalizing or making the literary scene systematic in SOX. So, when we break them, pwede natin sila as an umbrella term, tawagin na SOX writers and SOX reading advocates. Next, please. SOX writers are composed of the following clusters. So at least well represented siya from various parts of SOX region. We have different names as well, like Manog Isa in Cotabato, Matahiusang Manunulat sa North Cotabato, Certain Federal Writers Association, and so on. I have not met everyone here, but I have heard from their activities and may mga acquaintances din ako na part ng ganyan mga organizations. Next, please. Likewise, SOX Reading Advocates are some clusters. Yeah, at marami din silang mga names sa kanilang organizations. Next, please. So what do they do? Ano yung mga piniklip ko kanina na thriving literary scene? So, I try to justify that. Yeah. My poetry readings, workshops, and open talks. Yung kasagsagan ng hugot culture, in pre-pandemic times, they organized poetry readings branded as yung hugot Jensen, hugot Marvel, and so on. Workshops are organized in various areas of the country. The picture here is from Lake Cebu, and may mga references silang i-invite. Then established the playwrights or writers are also invited to give mentorship or facilitate talks to aspiring poets or writers in the region. Here are some examples. Next, please. More seminar workshops, this time associated with universities and schools. Literary tests, was full-based then. Next. May mga pa-contest to inspire the young ones to write and also to give the motivation na sila gumawa ng mga akda. We have poetry contests. I remember meron din social media short fiction contest that were quite successful. Medyo malaki-laki yung reach and they were able to produce really good outputs. Next, please. I thought the writing workshop is extended and funded. That's what I was introduced kanina. It becomes a writing camp. Pag malaki-laki ang budget, at kapag mga nakakakuha ng sponsor, extended siya writing camp. So I thought the first writing camp in SOX happened in 2019. It's a 3-day workshop for writers with mentorship by guest published writers. This was quite successful as well kasi it was able to produce right.
Ubusan na tayo ng battery. Mahinig nyo naman ako, ano? Okay. So they were able to produce some students who were able to publish their works na rin. Next, please. Sa mga reading advocates naman, meron silang activities like book swaps, book blind dates, and book discussions. I've only been to one book swap event. Exciting naman siya. Alam mo yung libro. Siguro may mga pre-love ka na ng libro na dalawang copy mo or what. Then you go to the venue and then you exchange with someone's pre-love book. May mga book discussions din. This is facilitated by the SOX Reading Advocates. Ito naman, storytelling session. So the act or the art of storytelling is facilitated by um, mga seasoned storytellers. Storytelling is an art. Hindi lang siya pagbabasa, piniperform din nila yung mga kwento. Next. There are also book launches kasi meron namang mga published authors that hail from SOX Zine. And when they decide to post their book launches in SOX, they tap the SOX Reading Advocates. Another example of the thriving literary scene in SOX Zine is the presence of this alternative means of literary production, which is a journal. This journal is found online and it's on automaticliteraryjournal.com. It's a repository of works from the region. So there are editors who curate the works that are included here. And open submission siya. Okay? We try to focus on, I've worked here as an editor but for a year lang. Nakasama ka. When there are call for submissions, it's usually thematic, okay, but most of the people who submit are really from SOX. And accepting from various forms, languages, themes, etc. So since it's not part of the mainstream, we can think of this as an independent and alternative body of literary publishing. Next, please. So, nandiyan pa rin ang diversity sa forms ng journal. For example, yung forms like poetry, fiction, and play. Next, please. And here are examples. Yeah. May mga nagsasubmit ng kanilang screenplay, poetry, and some other poetic forms. Next, na natin ang microphone.
Okay, we're back on live. So as I was saying, the Cotabato Literary Journal reflects the diversity of the region, not only in terms of form, but also in terms of themes and languages. So meron tayo dito screenplay, songs, classic poetry, traditional forms, etc. Open submission siya sa mga taga-SOX. Next, please. Now, when I was an editor here, we tried to label it according to type and form, pero may mga initiatives din na naglalayo na tanggalin na lang yun. Kasi mostly as per yung typology niya. Like, for example, may nagsasubmit ng short prose form. And then traditionally, diba, kapag nag-aaral tayo ng short story, there's always a formula to it. Exposition, conflict, denouement, conclusion. Now, what if we receive a prose narrative that does not contain any conflict at all? So, how do we label that? Ipipilit ba natin na short story siya? Okay. What if may nag-attempt na romance writer? They follow the formula set by writing romance. But sometime in the middle of the story, dinayo niya. Naging meta siya. Could that be boxed in terms of classification? So, I think future editors will do away with this convention of labeling. That's true. Ang masaya dito sa journal, ang daming languages, ang daming submissions na the writers could not find a publication or a venue to submit their works, but they found a home sa journal. So here are some languages that have been published there. And it's also a good, kumbaga, linguistic study kasi, for example, may nagsasubmit na ganyan work, but the hinagay naman is significantly different from the Hiligaynon in West Visayas. Okay? And nakakatuwa ang banggahan ng the historic settler Hiligaynon from Hiligaynon in West Bay. And that's documented in this journal. Next, please. I think I have an example here. Okay? I have a submission. I got a sample. Yung Coronadal horror story, it's set in Marbel, Coronadal, but the author is Phil-Ann. Okay? And his Ilonggo is influenced also by the years of growing up in, saan ba itong si Matt Jones? Overseas na lang. So, look at how he writes. May banggaan ng Ilonggo and the English, the dramatic expressions, and the vibrant habits of his poetry and prose poetry. Really interesting. Have we seen this in mainstream publications before? I don't think so. Probably may mag-attend. Pero, you know, politics of editorship, they probably advise the writer to try to be fluent in one language. Do not try to code shift. So that's one advantage of independent publications or alternative publications. It's a bit open to the nuances of local writing. Next. Okay, diversity of languages. Next, please. In terms of friends, at marami din. May mga self-expression, meron namang social, may mga nabasa din ako na very existential and practical. So, writing something beyond the self, that's turning from personal conflicts or personal questions. Nakikipag-conflict lang naman. Kaya ka ang mag-iis. What are your points on that? Next is some examples of things around. Next. Okay, let me just give some bullets here. Okay. The last one, I'll pick the last one. I think the writing allows for resistance and the exercise of agency and assertion of identity. Kasi, for example, you are an aspiring writer and you have, let's say, in mainstream publications, in the ways that you want to write. Do you not want to have a representative kumbaga? Do you not want something that you can find resonance with? The journal could allow for this. Pwede siyang maka-inspire sa future writers. I'll try to write this out now with Zoom meeting. One last part, aside from what about the literary journal, some people in SOX also write zines. Next, please. Next, please. So, zines are active publications coming from printed on paper and then sold on printers. May mga inorganize na zine processes before. Next, please. Can you just show the zine press? Okay. Ayan. So, ang first zine press nila sa Johnson. Next, please. Yeah. During the succeeding year natin in Coronadal, next. This is where students and aspiring writers sell their zines. Next. Okay. And next. online na lang kasi ng pandemic. Next. Ayan. So, if you're an educator or at least you're an aspiring writer, you can participate in Zine Fest. Independent kind of type of publication because you get to decide what you want to print out. Okay? Next. I did. I na lang ako dito. I'll just show some samples of scenes made by my students. Short time din kasi ulan. Ngayon pa siya nakikita. Sabotage. So I just to end my presentation, I just show samples of scenes made by students who participated in Zine Fest in SOX Zine. Nasa folder na, hindi pa po. Basically, a zine is just your own independently published works in codex format. Pwede mo lang siya i-print, pwede mo lang siya with a stapler. So, in my language and literature classes, yung performance task ko sa senior high and then midterm project sa college, pinapagawa ko ng zine. Ginagrupo ko sila then, gawa kayo ng zine ninyo. Make a zine thematic. May literal nila. Ginagawa nilang title zine. So, ayan, centric acid. Para daw sa acid scan lang natin. So, the theme of the zine is acid. So, ayan. Si Lola may asin pa. Mind blown by that. Kasi parang nagkaroon ng poem ng Lola. When I scan their zine, ayun, may mga poems sila regarding awareness of life. A same story, very literal, same the imagination of young ones nowadays. A short story regarding careers. Ayan. May erasure poetry pa sila. And memes. Another ECM. I don't know if it's I asked him. Yeah, I don't know if they collaborated with Group 1, pero ito na naman, yung isa asim ang ito alat. May azim naman kanila. Very literal. Yung kung mo ba ay maalat, hindi na ito kasi ng misteryong NaCl nakalagay dito sa aklat. Okay, so we have visual poetry, epistolary poetry via chat messaging. Okay. Tawag dito, there's a code hidden in sila pa ba? What kind of poetry is that? Ano yan, Andre? Acrostic, thank you. So may acrostic poetry sila na biblical. Yung asawa ni sino kasi ano? Asawa ni Lot na naging tore ng asin. Okay. And then a visual poetry from lyrics of the band named Asin. Yung waiting naman. So anyway, so at least they started with the gimmick. Then after they start branding. To the yardstick of people who are motivated, let's say, by profit or let's say a certain ideology, you can make use of journals like here in our region or publish it via a zine and participate in conventions that allow for the publication of such. Okay, so I hope you got something from this talk. Um, I'll end this with some good news doon sa PowerPoint. Ayan, last part. Doon na lang sa last slides. Ayun. Ayun pala. The CCP Encyclopedia is currently free and you can just sign up and read essays from there. And then one example of a mainstream literary and cultural production, I think that is a good framework for some alternative creation that champions representation and inclusivity is yung people group na alamat. Yan, siningit talagang stan life. May paper pa tayo sa likod if you have not heard about people group alamat. They champion inclusivity and diversity and they're multilingual and multicultural. So they're trying to kumbaga, question or engage in conversation the music industry na medyo monopolizing na Tagalog ang OP. If it's original music, bakit puro Tagalog? Bakit walang Bisaya or walang whatever? So, this stream stand, check them out. Okay, that's it for my part. Mayo hapon.
Okay, dagang salamat, Eric, sa imong presentation no, about sa indie publishing initiative sa SOX Zine Fest. No? So, dagan po siya na-share. So, ang second natong speaker, si Neil Teves, no? Mag-given siya sa siya young writer from Davao. He is currently studying language and literature at Ateneo de Davao University. So, he writes fiction and non-fiction, and he attended several writing workshops in Mindanao. And has recently attended screenwriting and translation workshops from De La Salle University Manila and University of the Philippines in Diliman. He advocates local literature for social development, and his writing explores themes of settlerhood in the post-colonial epoch of his hometown. So, palakpakan natin si Neil Teves.
So hello po, good afternoon. I'd like to first acknowledge Sir MJ for having me here. In-invite niyo po ako to speak about our journal kasi this journal produced its first maiden issue last month doon sa double small press fair that was held in Swazo Bar. So, this just a parental kasi because I was planning three of my friend, my sister and I were thinking how we could create another venue for new writers in Davao. So we decided to make a new journal and it is called the Buhagay Journal. So later we will know why it became Buhagay and why the word Buhagay. So for the objectives of this presentation, we will get to know what is Buhagay Journal, what does it mean when we say Buhagay, and the idea of the project, the first contributors, and I will also discuss local literature for social development and our first publication, and then our future plans for the coming years. So next. Next. The next is so why Buhagay? So according to binisaya.com, the word basically means to cascade or to outburst or in noun outburst and another verb it means to pour out. So other semantic equivalent of the word includes agay-ay, dagay-day, awas, Agos, Buslot, Agas, Buog. Next slide. But we were thinking of a kind of concept that would encapsulate what was happening during the post-election, yung bagong election lang. So kasi, ang nangyari, the idea came about earlier this year, so the post-election of May 9 elections created numerous expressions from different people in the country. So as we know, the last election really created so much opinions from other people. And then there was even a time when we didn't open our social media accounts because everything was so, you know, noisy going around in the. And then that was just the moment when we say that, ala na, buhagay lagi sila, daghan kayong manggawas ng mga opinions. So, daghan kayo, parang sa tingin ko, mahala, dito mo, who's telling the truth? I mean, it has created so much opinions from other people, and that the word buhagay simply came up. And then it also social media has shaped also the way we think and react. But unfortunately, the social media also has been used by dominant groups to frame up narratives. Next. So this incessant fabrication and publication of harmful and misleading information is termed disinformation. So as we can see I mean, we already know about what disinformation is and how it works. Um, in social media, it's difficult to trace truth nowadays, and one of the imperatives of this journal is really to collate or uh, collect narratives from people who are experiencing the effects or the aftermath of uh, uh, different incidents in this place or in this country. Next, so for the first contributors of our journal, ako po ang ang ito na volunteer na mag-create or mag-print kung what materials to be included. And next, I also have Ms. Ria Valdez, who was my mentor in Davao City National High School before. She was the one who pushed me to continue writing because, according to her, there's a lot of things you can do when you write and when you express what you see around. So I continue writing until I proceed to college. So next, she was a teacher now. She's a teacher at UPME, teaching creative writing. Next, my sister also, she is studying in UP Mindanao. She is taking anthropology, and kasi wala sila ngayon actually, dapat na sila sa Bacolod to present women labor papers, so they are there. Next, so that's the logo of the Buhagay Journal. It's just so small and simple. Next po. So first, this is the first, what we call this, maiden issue of the Buhagay Journal. So we use the painting, borrow the painting of of uh, Victorio Idades, the builders. Uh, so the builders. My teacher recommended this one because all of our works resonated with the themes of included in this journal. So the builders. Actually, this was supposed to be colored, but yun nga, we hagipit kami sa printing colored. So we decided to make it black and white na lang muna. So for the content, that's the journal, but we decided to title it with kahidlang or longing or the desire to have something that we know because most of the characters and the themes of our story encapsulate the word kahidlaw or the longing. Next. So how does local literature for social development? How does local literature foster social development? So in I encountered the word social development when I attended several writing workshops from UP and from other institutions. Literature must not only be, what do you call this? Literature must not only be read for fun. I mean, in any case, it should be, but it must have a purpose for us. It must always move people and make people think that this this is the reality that we are experiencing right now. So according to Berland, so he's an advocate for social development in 1987. Social development is the promotion of a sustainable society that is worthy of human dignity by empowering marginalized groups, women and men, to undertake their own development, to improve their social and economic position, and to acquire their rightful place in society. Also, according to Amartya Sen in 1995, social development is equality of social opportunities. Yeah. So in this case, this picture is borrowed from Dago of the Past. It's in the album 2 of the 1899 to 1920s. It was the time when Davao was transformed into Abaca and coconut plantations. This is also the time when extensive labor was forced for the indigenous peoples and some settlers from Visayas and Luzon to work here. Yes. So now, uh, since we are living now in the post-colonial era, we are encountering people who work with different kinds of jobs, but sometimes their labor is not compensated. So the goal of our journal is always human rights based. So human rights based approaches from the basis of much of the literature. Rights underpin the purpose of human development, the interventions, and provide the guiding structure for measuring outcomes. As such, human rights encompass all aspects of social development. So, um, uh, the social development literature for social development should always aim for accountability, gender inequality, children, adolescents, and older people, and social excluded groups. The aim of local literature for social development should always aim for the opportunities of other people. So here I captured this picture sometime in June in our barangay. So as you can see here, it's a storage room on Batabago Street. Lately ko lang kasi nalaman na yung yung hometown ko pala, yung bahay namin kung saan siya nakalagay, saan siya naka build, was actually the place where Batabago was fighting against the Spanish colonizer. Is one of the place kung saan niya nilagay yung mga fortresses niya. So bago ko na siya nalaman. So I was amazed when I heard that kasi and then I researched about it and then it was really true because kung saan yung University of the Immaculate Conception po ngayon, doon po siya once nakipag-battle sa mga Spaniards. So, kaya pala tinawag yung street sa baba namin na Datubago Street. Yun siya. And then how this narrative really struck me so much because I didn't know na meron palang ganun na mga stories, the history of my hometown, the history of the place where I grew up. So I was amazed and I was thinking I really have to write this someday. Next. So yun. So for this, later we will know how we framed or how we develop our narratives using our own framework. So this is our sample framework for local literature for social development. So here, first, in one of my story, yung tagsinto na lang, for most, sa mga taga Davao, I think you heard about it na yung everything, lahat ng mga, yung mga maliliit na from kimpe to supply, is sold for 5 pesos. Pero yung store na yun is nawala na siya. Hindi na siya nagbenta kasi mahal na yung mga yung mga bagay-bagay. So yun. So for our framework, we have historical, we have the legal, and then we have the economic, and then yung for whom does this story or narrative is addressed to. So first is in one of my story, yung tagsin ko na lang. The character was about a young man who contemplates about the place where their stall was being placed before. So yung nagtitinda po dati yung uncle niya doon sa Bangkerohan, he doesn't know much about the place because he was young. But then again, the character, after so much contemplation, the character realizes kung gaano sila na-exploit, kung gaano sila na-alienate sa mga mahal na sa mga dominant groups na doon sa amin. So first is, for our first short, for my story yung that sinutagsin ko na lang, I tried to research about the history of that Tobago's resistance against Don Jose de Uyangwirin. So it was in that place, Bangkerohan, that there was resistance against the Spaniards before. And then, and it's still happening now. Everything is contested. And then the land is still contested up until now because of some settlers who think that they own the land. So it is still happening. And then the current economic settlement in Bangkerohan or the Davao River. So we can, in my perspective, the people have their own stories to tell. They know that sometime in the past they were victims and they are also victims until now. So who are part of this narrative as eventually or most in some cases or uh, they are being victims and most of the stories are not told. So one of the imperatives of this journal is to listen to people and to collect the stories of the people living in the margins, especially the working classes of my place, and then also uh, uh, put them in put them on pages so that other people will also know about it. Yeah. So future plans for this journal. So we were thinking of including, we were thinking of expanding our goals, our goals. So we will determine themes for the next collection. And we were thinking about the ecological crisis uh, happening around us. So maybe we can make call for submissions for other stories who would want to share how they feel about the environment. So we could have that, but we were still thinking about it. Then that's our call for submission, and then we will ask support from groups also who would help us make our next project feasible and possible. Uh, so yun lang po. Okay. So thank you for having me and for listening to my project, for our project. Thank you, Andrew.
Maraming salamat din, Neil, no? So, pwede ko bang tawagin ulit si Eric at si Neil para sa ating open forum? Pwede ko ba kayong maupo dito sa harapan? So, ngayon po ay bibigyan natin ng pagkakataon muna yung nandito sa ating physical event mismo, no? Kung magtanong sa ating dalawang speakers tungkol sa mga binahagi ng independent publishing initiatives dito sa Southern Mindanao, sa SOX Zine and sa Davao region. Meron po bang gustong magtanong sa ating audience ngayon? Sige po, kung wala muna, sige sir. Sir.
Special ka, pangyayari ngayon. Kasi yan, una nangyari itong ganitong klaseng issue tungkol sa Zine. The irony is not belong to everybody. That people who were first start into publication. So the young ones now. The first book that compiled writers from different parts. His double harvest by Tita Ayala in 1979. And he said that there were so many contributions he was not able to use that he decided to publish some of the contributions individually. That is how probably the first indie journal in Mindanao and maybe even in the Philippines was born, which was the Roadmap series started by Tita Cagumbay. Maraming writers ang ginawa niya. Maraming hanggang recently, hanggang ngayon, nag-aano sila eh. Nag-produce sila. Ha? Do not forget that the first double harvest and then Roadmap series. Yan ang models ng mga journals niya ngayon. Itong double writers, I organized it in 1999 when I first came here. And then we formed a magazine, The Might, which was first published in Sunstar magazine. So there's one page there that featured writings by not only writers from Davao, but also from everywhere. And later it became online. And that was also the first online, literally online journal para sa inyo in the country. That's the first edition ng 2000. And after the double writers, there were other writers that came up. Now, do not forget that the zines at the beginning were based on writers. Importante yung may grupo to hold the thing together. So, until now, that is continuing. And I'm glad to know that there are a number of writers groups all over the different regions in Mindanao. Although they have not been, and they have been participating in a number of indie book shows started by Adam Gabi and the BLPX. Mga Xerox na yan, kakumbahan na staple niya na the BLPX type. This is against applications that are well funded. So for the young, ito yung alternative nila, BLPX. It is what we have in our genes now. So the literary histories of our regions here in Mindanao are still to be written. And because we still have to ferret out information about the writers in the region. Do you know that the first writers here in there? They were the first writers group. They were the ones who settled in Llano del Sur and Llano del Norte. And their group was based on the groups in Cebu. One of them is Buhagay. I forget the other name of the partner or alaban nila. Very interesting ang history ng Mindanao. So, yun ang gusto kong sa lugar ngayon, huwag mo kakalimutan yung mga ganyan. Dahil mahalaga yung napakaganda ng nakalipas ng Mindanao. Kailangan yung basahin ang mga istorya na naisulat sa panahon ng mga kolonyal at mga Amerikano. Even before that, in Spain, hindi masyado nakatuntong dito, kaya wala akong masyado mabasahin doon. Pero yung mga Amerikano, marami silang nagawa dito. Yung mga Kailangan nyo malaman kasi yung mga story ng mga dinalabas ng mga lumad at moral writers natin, yung story yan, na kapakayaman na kailangan pang ibigyan ng bagong wasan ng mga batang malulat. Yun ang kailangan natin. At dapat ito isinusulat sa lingwahe ng reyon. Huwag nyo kakalimutan yan. Sinabi mo sa una, yung una nagsalita, na ano yung mga region, ang tawag doon? Underrepresented. That is an implication of the hegemonic thinking ng NCR. Ha? At tandaan nyo yan. Kasi pag nandito ka sa Manila, from Manila, you know, akala mo ikaw ang sentro ng mundo ng Pilipinas. Kaya yung under-representation na yan, para bang sinisisi pa yung regions, hindi kayo gumawa ng sarili ng representation, kaya hindi kayo kilala sa national literature. Binasa ko na, I read already kay Jen ang pinanggit mo kanina. Kasi ang national literature sa ating tingin, hindi lang pang Manila yan. Ang literatura dito sa Mindanao, sa Ilocos, sa kahit saan man, Bicol, Cebu, national literature lahat yan. Huwag mong kakalimutan yan. Never think of your own literature as regional. Ibuksin yan. Yan ang sinasabi kong kailangan mag-decolonize tayo ng ating pag-iisip. Kaya kailangan yung mga Moro, na-discover ko, 1923, sinabi nung isang Moro na si Dato Piang sa Mindanao, dapat kami mga Moro, kami mag-translate ng aming mga folktales at hindi yung mga potato. Yan ang kauna-una ang resistance sa mga kaya sinusulat ko yan para malaman ng lahat yung nangyayari dito sa ating isla in the last century. So, yun lang. Sorry pa. Yan na. Sa konting na, medyo kinukunti. Medyo mahaba. Pero sana nabigyan mo kayo ng perspektibo para tignan ang ating sariling literatura dito sa Mindanao. Salamat.
Maraming salamat din po, sir. Sobrang kalaga po yung sinabi niyo, lalo na sa pag-uugat talaga ng kasaysayan ng panitikan dito sa Mindanao. Kasi yun nga, karamihan din ng kasaysayan ng panitikan dito sa Mindanao ay hindi pa isusulat at kailangan talagang isulat. At pag-aralan natin, lalo tayong mga kabataang manunulat para malaman din natin anong pinagmumulan natin ng mga pinagkalaban natin na halimbawa ngayon, yung kultura ng produksyon ng independent alternative. So maraming salamat po sa inyong pagbabahagi. Meron pa po bang gustong magtanong sa ating audience? Siguro may response pa si Sir Eric.
Maraming salamat sa pagbabahagi mo, Sir Ricky. This is not an assurance, no, but probably from my end, then I'd like to point out and maybe a little bit of assurance na rin na the history of Mamtala is not lost on us. I have friends before who attempted constructing a literary backgrounder of the roadmap series, pero yung first, kumbaga balakid sa kanyang pagkakalat ng corpus, yung parang ephemeral nature talaga ng zines, like kasi knowing Ma'am Tita Lacambra Ayala, she did not make use of conventional materials. Minsan mga kalendaryo, wrapper ng mga cans, ginagamit niya sa pagsusulat ng mga akda. She curated works in various modes, mediums, and even materials. So, although I'm not part of the young ones, pero sabihin lang natin, sige. A lot of young people who are attempting to write about literary history from their localities, they are also met with that kind of setback. Siguro ngayon, parang like what we are sharing, may mga digital curation means na like the internet probably has done wonders to mga published works and maybe preserve them for scholarly rigor. Pero in the past, I do share your sentiments na sana mas marami pa mga academics na mag-aral nun because our local histories need to be written. Sinil din daw po nila sabi.
Sir Ricky, you once mentioned that before na the future of Philippine Lit is translation. Can you further elaborate on that? Kasi we're also planning that this journal will cater plenty of translations in the future.
Because I wrote that idea in my book that is not yet released. I said that the future of Philippine literature is in regional translation, literature in translation.
Yeah, yun pala yun.
Who told you about that?
It's just we were just talking about it, but it was just an idea po said to me.
No, that's important kasi second, third class English. Even if you say it's Philippine English, it's iba pag, kaya ako nagtatagalog eh. Iba pag nagsusulat ka sa lingwaheng kinagisnan mo eh. Iba yung iba yung galaw ng isip. Yun, importante. Galaw ng isip. Kaya yung sinasabi ng mga form na kailangan ba ni Press, posible ba itong, sinabi mo kanina, pwede ba itong walang conflict? Saan ang gagaling yan? Sa pagtutulong ng mga puti. Kasi meron sila in-institute sa atin ng models to follow. Kasi nasabi ko yun, walang rules. Wala talagang rules. Sino lang mag-i-invento niyan? At saka yung mga guro, napilig sa mga Amerikano. Kaya nasa sa inyo yung bata, kayong mga batang manunulat, kayo ang gagawa ng bagong rules sa Mindanao ng pagsusulat sa rehiyon, using your own language. Kasi ang na-discover ko, pag nagsulat kasi ng buhay mo na hindi English, iba yung nakikita mo dahil iba ang nakikita ng lingwaheng ginagamit mo. Nakuha ko yan dahil nag-translate din ako ng sarili kong trabaho into Tagalog at saka nagsulat din ako ng Tagalog. Kaya nakita ko yun. Tsaka nakita ko rin yan doon sa isang translation ng trabaho ni Zocalio, na Binisaya. In-explain ko ng translator niya, si Father John Seguban, kung paano niya translate. Kasi pinakita niya sa akin yung translation niya eh. Tumitig na ko ngayon, bakit na nasabi ko sa English, samantalang po, hindi sa sinusulat mo, hindi mo makikita yung detalye yun. Yan ang diferensya eh. Yan ang kagandahan. Sabi ko, kaya iba yung expression na makikita mo pag walang lasa, walang puso na nagtatranslate, makikita mo yung parang plain lang yung translation ng na kunyari pinasaya into English. Pero kung kuha mo yung dapat kinukuha mo yung paluluwa ng salita eh. Gaganda kami nakikita. So, yung sinasabi kong nasa region, pinabukasan ng dito. Ang English, nandiyan yan. Sinabi ko nga sulit ko nandiyan yan. Parang yung mga kuryente nakasabit na bulod-bulod dyan sa taas. Sa mga graffiti. Hindi mawawala yan. Pero wala nang lasa yan sa mga batang mga lalaki.
Yan, maraming salamat ulit Sir Ricky. No? Para po sa kapatiran natin lahat po ay si Sir Ricky ay isang prolific writer talaga at nagsulat ng napakaraming bagay tungkol sa panitikan dito sa hindi lang sa Davao kundi sa buong Mindanao, no? Napakalaga na kanyang maisinulat tungkol dito. So, meron pa po bang gustong magtanong?
Sana anong problema nila sa financing?
Financing, parang magandang tanong yun. Okay po, sige po, gusto niyo po bang sagutin?
Okay, so Sir Ricky has already pointed out kanina ibig sabihin ng hegemony, no? Like my centers of production, bakit nga ba sila ang naging center? Okay? Probably it has to do with marketing also and funding. Like if you're going to kumbaga, set out to put forth your ideologies, usually those in power with the means to publish, produce, and kumbaga, what they call this, endorse certain forms, certain languages, certain modes of thinking. With money comes power. So usually independent publications, alternative publications, they're not in it for profit. Maybe your next question probably would, are independent publishers aiming to become part of the center as well? So that's something we have not really discussed in detail. Since we have already established na to be part of the center, you must have funding, you must have resources, you must have the means. Yung mga nasa independent scene ba, are they aiming to become part of the center as well? Okay. I don't have a definite answer to that, but yes, my remark is in line with the question of yun nga, funding as a tool for accumulating resources for publication. Ikaw, MJ, bilang isang publisher, perhaps gaano ba ka-laki o si Sir Ricky may dagdag?
Greatest mistake would be the greatest mistake to become like the capitalists, not to be like everybody else in the what you call the big publisher. That's the greatest mistake to become like these people sinabi mo kanina, di ba? You should do a different, you should take a different route. Kaya kung tinanong yung financing kasi yung financing that entails big money, imperialistic yan Kaya nga tayo control yan because 500 copies dapat given, hindi na uubos yung 500 copies in 20 years. Kaya dapat yung mga publish, yung mga paper agents ng paper, kailangan kasama yan sa discussion. Yung minsan I had the NBBB meet with the printers here in Davao, here in this place. Hindi nila na, ang sinasabi ng mga sellers ng papers ini-import pa nila sa Manila yung mga papel. Sa problema din yung papel, yung rest ng paano sa mahal. Ang libro mo yan, napakamahal na. So, dapat may sarili ka, ang kontra yan sa centralized ng mga publishers na kinokontrol na NBBB ngayon. Ang kontra dyan, community. Ngayon, siguro, community members, teachers. Yan. Kayo mga nagpo-produce, mga nagbebenta, kayo tapos, yun na lang yung, pinapaikot na lang yung mga earnings ninyo. Hindi yung aunting para sa inyo. Yun ang isang magandang magulong suntang siguro dyan. So, kaya maganda yung mga writers group. Importante writers group. At saka yung donation ng mga mayayaman. Kung meron kayong mga kututala.
Maraming salamat ulit, Sir Ricky. Meron pa po bang tanong? Wala? Siguro, may limitado yung tayong oras. Siguro tanongin ko na lang yung dalawang tinanong sa message side, no? Ang unang nagtanong ay, Ano ang masasabi niyo sa mga mainstream publishing houses na kino-co-op ang mga indie publishing firms? Halimbawa, yung mga zines ngayon na ay independent daw, tapos bigla ngayon ay marami ng mainstream publishers na meron silang zines o kaya meron silang independent arm, publishing arm.
Yung question mo na yan, parang in line din sa remark ni Sir Ricky kanina, like, you should resist the form started by those in power. And if you're going to monopolize centers of production, ideally, you should resist having your work be co-opted or swallowed by forms that, let's say, will take away editorial choices from you. Diba usually when small independent presses or small publications are swallowed by big companies, they get to dictate the rights of how to produce your work. So, as what Neil mentioned kanina, it depends on your politics din. Sabi nga ni Sir Ricky kanina, if you're after profit, usually you give in to big offers. Pero Sir Ricky is challenging us na try to trailblaze, make your own model for business that's not really about money. Perhaps it's also about principio, having your work published without being dictated by those in power. Kaya nga, na-bring up ko yung question na yun, pero ako mismo wala pang matinding sagot kasi I also noticed that like some independent publishers, what they're after is exposure so that their work will get noticed and get wider circulation. Pero an indicator naman siguro, Sir Ricky, and the people are interested in this question, an indicator that hindi naman ganun ka-bleak ang future kasi may mga thriving na independent publishers whose framework is not really about profit and hindi sila madaling nakapo-out ng malaking kumpanya.
Since bago pa yung journal namin, we aren't really thinking about gaining money pa. Hindi naman kasi namin inisip na magbebenta tayo para may 10,000 tayo. Hindi naman kasi ganun yung inisip namin first. Yung inisip namin po first is that we want to narrate stories and tell stories of like for example, unforgotten atrocities of Davao, ganun, the post-war era of ganun, we want to say things and publish materials that are not yet known. Parang yun yung gusto ko namin. Perhaps siguro yung na bayad sa atin na money parang so far kaming side lang po muna ito. Parang bonus lang po siya so far ngayon. But
Rating expenses lang.
Parang ganun lang. But the joy of letting people know your story, the joy of knowing that these people or this person sees his or her own story in the story that we tell is something enjoyable na po for us. So parang ganun po yung so far gusto namin ipakita sa tao na our journal is not just about yung pera-pera yung ganun. But siguro we're still super idealistic pa kasi we want to prove something and we want to raise the bar higher. We want also to follow the footsteps of those who come ahead of us. If they can do it, we can also do it. And if they had stories to tell, we also have stories to tell, regardless if we earn money or not.
Okay. Neil, in defense of people I've known din like you, parang you mentioned your idealism. Big companies won't usually offer you first-hand na ito, kukunin namin to kasi pera. Usually that's not their selling point. They would say, Neil, we will get your journal because we would disseminate it to a wider audience. Parang usually they would say na we will get that kasi kami ang may means to distribute it, to market it. So maybe that's where you get to decide whether the means justify your ends or whatever. Pero there's for sure when everything's not black and white. Ayan, I hope you get to keep your idealism there.
Siguro alamin siguro namin, sir, is the intention, the agenda behind it, ganun. So that we can always position ourselves if this is good to do or if this is not yet good to do, to let them dictate our expression. Parang ganun. There's always an agenda behind it din. Kasi, so yun, we will first know what, yung sinabi mo, if, if a certain publication wants to get this, siguro kailangan namin alamin for what, to whom, and why. Yeah.
Okay, maraming salamat, no? Hindi ko na itatanong yung second question kasi nasagot mo na rin sa mga sagot nyo, no? So maraming salamat ulit sa ating mga speakers, no? At maraming salamat kasi napakaganda ng discussion talaga natin, no? Marami tayong natutuhan sa isa't isa sa hapong ito, no? So bago tayo siguro bako natin pakawalan silang dalawa, tawagin ko muna si Sir Carlos, ang kinatawan ng National Book Development Board, at si Miss Maita, ang kinatawan dito sa Big House, para bigyan natin ng certificates of appreciation ang ating dalawang speaker. So, sir? Sige po, ginagamit itong certificate ng pagkilala kay Eric Gerard H. Nebran para sa kanyang serbisyo bilang isang tagapagsalita sa ET PubCon 2.0 Davao Valley. Sinagawa mula 24 hanggang 25 November 2022 sa The Big House, Davao City. Pinamahan ni Carlos Miguel Escobar at kinatawan ng National Book Development Board. Okay, maraming salamat ulit, Sir Eric. At ang kaparehong sertipiko na pagkilala ay bibigay din kay Neil Teves para sa kanyang serbisyo bilang tagapagsalita ngayong hapon. Okay, maraming salamat ulit, sir. Ayan, maraming salamat ulit sa pakikinig sa ating unang session, lalo sa mga nagtanong at nagbigay ng kanilang mga puna doon sa online session natin sa live event. Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng 15-minute break para sa ating snacks bago tayo magsimula sa ating pangalawang session na kinatatapukan ng ating mga kababaihang manunulat mula sa Southern Mindanao. So 15-minute break po para sa ating snacks. Meron pong snacks na ibibigay.